Hari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hari bol, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Gopaladi.
Yeah, is there any way you can increase the volume or something? I think the sound is a little less. Are you a little maybe too far away? Can you just speak a little bit so I can hear you?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
That's better.
That's good?
Yeah, yeah. What did you do?
Okay.
Yes, that's good.
So we are going to start by invoking the mercy of Guru Krishna. Today is our last day, class of eight days session in 1 month. I think 8 or 9, I forgot. Any 8 session on Jiva Tattva. Every angle, and today is like a final little touch on Jiva Tattva. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Yenanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadam Hayam Dadati Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanitamsha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatadeshatarine Vanchakalpataruvesya Kripa Sindhupai Vacha Patitanam Pavanam Vaishnavi Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. It's beautiful. Where we do recording is like a small Gopal's house. Yes. Yeah, it's like a hush. This is very nice. Is here. Yeah. So we are going to beginning with the question, and then we're going to start to Haribol Pushkar. Please come. try to answer. At least we'll cover the original question. Sometimes people has a doubt on the disciplic succession, parampara. They don't say Bhagavad Diksha system does not exist, some people claims. Some people say we can understand Krishna and Shastra without the proper Diksha Parampara. So if you don't have a Diksha Parampara, then you cannot. The philosophy is floating in Vrindavan right now. Yeah, it's been going on, but and Krishna has the only independence. The soul doesn't have independence. Soul even is not recorded as Satchidananda, only Sat. Some floating and neophyte mentality, people are attracted because they don't study book of Srila Prabhupada or Acharyas. As a result, it's easy to manipulate their correct. Correct. I mean, we can take part of Chaitanya Charitamrita and argue about it. Like for an example, that sloka. Katakan rahi prabhu tare alingiya vidai korila tare shakti sancharila is in Madhya.7.99, where Mahaprabhu is traveling, he delivered all those souls in South India, and Prabhupada raised a question that he delivered, but what does that means? And then he explains this. Antaranga chit shakti, bahiranga maya shakti, tadastha jiva shakti, tine kare prema bhakti. So it's like a gradual progression. And then there is that until Sandini and Sambit, Sambit and Ladini infused in the heart means they didn't have before. Yes, there are actually few sloka. Even in Madhya 6.160, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's deliverance also has a similar idea. Somebody can take just literally that and fight. Correct, Jiva doesn't have. But that's not true, because they have to take the other consequences also, that how the soul is originally, Tatastha region, how they manifested. They manifested from the Baladev potency, in a sense. Jivanama Tatastha ka ekasakti hai, Mahasankarsan sarva jivera ashray. That is also there in Adi Lila, chapter 5, that explain that all the jiva of Tatastha Shakti, they came from there, Tatastha region. So from that angle you can say, but predominating deity of Sat potency, Sankarshan or Balaram, doesn't mean that's what we have. See, that logic is not applicable. Because if we come from Baladev or his expansion, Sankarshan from Tatastha region, that doesn't mean, because he is a predominating deity of Sat potency, so we only have a Sat. Where does it say that? See, they just manipulate, literally they do, around Radha Kund Govardhan. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives so much commentary, and Prabhupada translated those Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary. I think there is more Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary in Chaitanya Charitamrita than any other commentary, Bhakti Siddhanta, but mostly Bhaktivinoda Thakur's, lot of commentary, because he knew that the people will catch those. He already faced it himself. So he just covered from different angles, and he's bringing the authoritative statement, not just his own idea. Like for an example, 8.257, I believe, Madhulila, where Ramananda Sangbat end, almost ending. One of the purport Prabhupada writes that originally we were the Jiva Shakti, they are pure consciousness. When completely become pure and enter into the spiritual domain, then he become Krishna consciousness. That means originally we are not Krishna consciousness, according to that purport. You can literally bring every angle. So anyhow, today I'm going to just go systematic, and then at the end we'll discuss what it is. Systematic is, first thing is what is sadhan, who is sadhaka, and who is siddha. That's a basic. The function of bhakti is bhakti rasa. So transcendental mellow, Krishna bhakti rasa bhavita moti, all these verses that gives Krishna bhakti rasa. Doesn't say Krishna bhakti only, Krishna bhakti rasa. So transcendental mellow, Krishna bhakti rasa, is the function of bhakti. And what is bhakti? Saddhatu annopaya varjanam bhakti unmukhi chitta vritti vishesha. So bhakti is the function of the heart. When proper shraddha connects the soul by the mercy of Guru or Sadhu or Vaishnava who has the faith, then bhakti unmukhi chitta vritti, the function of the chitta. Vritti means function of the chitta. Yeah, that it's in Jaiva Dharma, but it's also Jiva Goswami Path. So now if we put all this together, slowly we go, that okay, whose hearts are overwhelmed by loving sentiment for Krishna can be bhaktas in Rasa tattva. Who can be in Rasa tattva? Those whose hearts are overwhelmed by loving sentiment of Krishna. It does not say where are you coming from or what, whoever heart is. The question may raise that how many types of bhaktas are there? Only two types in Bhakti Rasa explanation. That's sadhaka and siddha. We're not talking about uttam, madhyam, adhikar. Those are like a gradation. Yes. Well, there is a 24 category also given in 25 chapter. There's a whole breakdown. But the basic division is only two: sadhak or siddha. Period. Now, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur said sadhaka, he meant the different sadhaka than what we think of sadhaka. In one definition of sadhaka means anybody come in contact with sadhu and accepted the path, he is sadhaka, in one sense, basic sense. Yes, they're all, as long they are coming in contact, their bhakti started. But here we're talking about not bhakti only, we're talking about bhakti rasa. So here sadhak definition is different. Sadhak definition given by Rupa Goswami Pad in 2.1.276, Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. Utpanna rataya samman, sammak nirvigna anupagata, Krishna sakshat krito jugga sa sadhaka parikita. It's in Bhakti Rasa Amrita Sindhu. 2.1.276. Utpanna rataya samman. Utpanna rataya samman means they are not the sadhak we are familiar with. We're talking about bhakti rasa. We're not talking about bhakti. I just want to make sure so you're not confused, like why is only going that high. Well, we're talking about bhakti rasa. So sadhaka means one whose roti or attachment to Krishna already awakened. Utpanna. Utpanna means produced or awakened. Rataya samman. Samman means completely. one whose attachment to Krishna already, and there is a internal symptom and external symptom. Even you grown up big. I remember she was so. They're all grown big. There are 9 symptoms which is visible some and which is not visible some. Like first thing is not visible, skanti. The tolerance, skanti. Yeah, I say skanti. Skanti abbarta kalatam virakti manasam. That's Bengali. Yeah, that's true. Skanti. Skanti abbarta kalatam virakti manasannata asabandha samutkanta nama gane sadaruchi. Asukti tad gunakhane priti tad vasiti stale. Iti agda priti ankore jani. One whose heart has ankur. Ankur means is a sprouting, of deep emotional sentiment has awakened, and natural attraction is there for the Lord. No, I'm just going to give a whole summary first and then, because we have a lot of online audience. They are all looking at my face. So, because we are doing this 8 weeks, 8 classes. This is the last one, summary. We'll have a new thing. So in that case, these are the 9 symptoms, and we already discussed this in another class, so I'm not going to discuss those. But 3 internal that we can actually, if we closely observe and see the sentiment of that person through service. Without service attitude, we cannot see that where they are. Those are Anukul Obilas, Surit Obilas. They are so much attached that they miss their Guru Maharaj, they miss their Guru Parshad, Gaur Parshad. They want to be with them to serve the Lord. They don't want to serve on their own way, or this is a internal feeling they genuinely feels. And they always, there's no question of pratikul, there's a fully anukul. And they're always in favorable attitude. And they also understand that Mahaprabhu came for purpose of delivering all these living beings. So they also extend that compassion towards the living entity and bring them. So one whose heart has awakened this love for Krishna or Priti, they are actually eligible. Krishna Sakshat Krito Yugga. They are actually eligible to see Lord. Not necessarily they see the Lord, but they see everything is connected with the Lord. This is the key point. Just like Prabhupada says, you cannot offer non-spiritual to Krishna because he is spiritual. It's like a little tricky question. So then the devotee says, well, then how are we going to offer anything to Krishna? Everything is material, not non-spiritual. Prabhupada said you have to first do Bhuta Suddhi. Bhuta Suddhi means you have to purify your existence. How do you purify? Naham Vipranacha Narapati, those verses are there. That you are not this body, you are not this ashram, you are not like eliminate. Then what is left is you, the soul, the servant of Krishna. Gopi Bharta Padakamala Dasa Dasa Anudasa. Kintu Pradun Nikhila Paramananda. So that Bhagavan, who is the maintainer of the gopis in Vrindavan, headed by Srimati Radharani, and our Guru is the maid servant of them. So we are servant of that servant, maid servant. That's called Bhuta Suddhi. Then you are already connected, that is spiritual. So for an example, if Sundari wants to offer an apple to Krishna, the apple has 3 modes of material nature. Some part of the apple you'll see over-ripened. His tamagun is there. Some are about to ripen. That sattvagun is there. Rajagun is there. Some part of the apple, if you look at any apple or any banana or anything, you can see all 3. It's like And some are, you will see, like perfectly ripened. That's Sattva. So three modes are there. But then if you think Ishavashyam Idam Sarvam, everything that exists, Krishna possesses, he owns it and he controls it, manages it. So that connection, apple, is no more apple. Apple belongs to Krishna. So that connection is spiritual. Now you can offer the apple. And of course, you have to chant the mantras and you have to have a guru and guru you. But you cannot offer anything non-spiritual. So how do you make spiritual? By the connection. Okay, now we go back to our original beginning of sadhaka and siddha. So sadhaka, I explained who are the sadhaka. They have roti arrives, they're eligible to see God, and they still have nirvigna anupagata. Nirvigna anupagata means they are not completely free from the challenges or difficulties or bodily problem or even mental problem. They're not completely free. There still maybe some residue is there. Not like Karmi, but some aspect. You may see them even like Jarabharat fell down, even though he was in that stage. But some attachment for the deer arise. If the logic is there, how can such an advanced soul has some dirty, low animal attachment? Because he is sadhak bhakta. He is not siddha yet. Nirvigna, bigna means obstacle. Nirvigna means he's not gone completely. It's still there. This from Rupa Goswami, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So then this is sadhaka. Siddha means Avignat Akila Klesa Sada Krishna Ashrita Kriya. Siddha Suya Santata Prema Sukha Sada Parayana. One who is fully immersed in activities related to Sri Krishna, who is completely unacquainted with impediments. They don't have impediments. Even the impediments they see as an opportunity to make more advance. They never see any impediments. In other words, they doesn't exist. In every situation, they are Krishna conscious fully. And also they are tasting Krishna Bhakti. They are relishing Krishna Bhakti. There is no such thing. So this is called Siddha. And there are three types of Siddha. Murchita Kosai, Nirduta Kosai. And the example is given, Narad Muni, who was before Upavarahan, then fell down by the curse of Vasishta, and then he became the maidservant's son of a maidservant. That point where his association with the Bhakti Vedantas, that perfection is not completely perfect, but it is perfect enough that he can be guru, he can actually deliver the soul easily. So that is also Bhagavat category. And Siddha category. And then next birth, of course, is Bhagavat Parshad Deha. He got a Deha body, which is associate of the Lord in spiritual world gets it. But his previous life and this Bhagavat Parshuddha, both are Bhagavat. Both can be Guru. Not that only Narad Muni can be Guru. When Narad Muni was a Dashiputra, cannot be Guru. No. Rupa Goswami breaks down this. They say, yes, both can be. But there is a gradation between these two. Then also Sukdev Goswami, who was actually Brahmanistha. He was not this is a wrong conception that he was a Radharani's parrot. It's not exactly documented record, but maybe someday of Brahmaji maybe came, because we're talking about this day. This day in second canto, 9th canto, Sukdev Goswami's, I think so, 9th canto, 4th chapter says that there is a two Sukdev, and none of them were Radharani's parrot. One is that one Sukdev that became a Grihastha. He has a daughter. That's one. Correct. No, it didn't say that, but he says that he was a Brahmavadi. So Radharani parrot was not a Brahmavari, so I know that. At least we understand that. So from that angle. But it is possible someday of Brahmaji, so many pastimes going on. One pastime, Sukdev Goswami also went to, his father sent him to be tested as a, or getting trained by the bears, King Janaka. In that story, this is not relevant to this Sukdev Goswami, but in another day of Brahmaji, every day of Brahma, this whole things again repeated, not same way, but new way. And that Sukdev Goswami was tested through the beautiful girls at the entrance for 7 days, 7 gates of King Janaka. He was so merged into transcendental absorption that he was not even aware that in this world he didn't have any clothes on. And King Janaka put him next to Mother Sunayana, who was the most beautiful lady on the planet at that time, Mother Sita Devi's mother. And King Sukdev Goswami didn't even have any difference, feeling sitting with Miss Universe or however you say it. But he was not like a reacting or any same Sukdev. No bikar, no transformation of senses. No, different day of Brahma, different Sukdev comes, not necessarily same person. Like Jiva Goswami Pad says, this Vyasdev is actually Vishnu Tattva. Now, this Vyasdev. Now, every millennium there is a Vyasdev. Every day of Brahma, every Kalpa, every day of Brahma. But not necessarily same Vyasdev. Sometimes Jivas are qualified, sometimes Krishna himself comes. It depends. So back to this, that Bhagavatam 11.20.8, this is a very nice sloka. Jadrichaya matkathado jata sraddhatu ja puna. Sorry, puman. Nar nirvinno nati sakto bhakti yoga so siddhida. If somehow or other, by good fortune, one develops faith in hearing and chanting my glories, this is Krishna speaking to Uddhava, such a person being neither very disgusted with nor very much attached to material life should achieve perfection through the path of loving devotion to me. There are many verses, no, I don't, you can, that there are many verses that important of sadhu sangha, because without sadhu sangha there is no bhakti, period. And Prabhupada used that verse a lot. Satam prasanga mama bija samvidav bhajanti takarna rasayana kata tada joshana dasvapavarga vartmani saddharati bhakti anukramishati. You should memorize that sloka, 3.25. It's very important. So that sloka, 3.25.25, just to give a little hints that few things are drawn from that sloka. That only by sadhu sangha, Srila Prabhupada writes in his purport, the mind can develop the attraction towards Krishna. So if some devotee has an attraction towards Krishna, by his association or her association, you can also develop attraction to Krishna. Just by our own endeavor is not enough. The power of sadhu sangha has to be developed. And in our society, such a big society, ISKCON, we have so many Shiksha gurus, so many senior devotees beside your gurus. So then you can easily associate with them, hear from them, then you will advance. Desire for sadhu sangha must arise. Gaur Govinda Maharaj said one time, if you don't feel attraction to hear from sadhu, that means you are not advancing. That's very nice logic. I don't have a desire to hear, oh, you're not advancing. Period. Asate vilas. Se karne lagilo more karma bandha fas. Yes. And then also Prabhupada says in the purport, the faith must arise from the sadhu's heart. Sadhu Guru, Nishtha. From Sadhu Sangha, also to hear about Krishna, also it pleases the ear. Those symptoms are the sign that you are actually having association. Association doesn't mean like bad bug. You know, bed. In America they have a bed bug. Maybe they do. Bed bug also associate with the sadhus, but that's not sadhu sangha. I mean, they suck blood. I don't think bed bug is there in America, do they? They do? Oh, okay. Oh. But that association does not benefit the bed bug. They can suck the blood from the pure devotee, but that doesn't mean they're associated. Anyway, from pure sadhu sangha, hearing and practicing causes anartha nivritti. For an example, like say some attachment is there, then all of a sudden by association, by hearing Bhagavatam, we see that that attraction is slackening, like it's not strong anymore. That is a good sign. Then keep on associating and hearing. Eventually this will disappear. So these are the signs. Then Rasayana Katha means that you feel satisfied. Not materially, it can be, but we're talking about spiritual progress. Because sometimes you can hear and you feel very attracted to Krishna, you still have to work hard to make the car payment or whatever it is, your expenses. The Harikatha attraction doesn't mean your material life will be like immediately solved. You'll get super lot or something. No, it doesn't say that. Means you're spiritual, you are at the core of your existence, you are spiritual being. When we hear about Krishna, when we are practicing everyday sadhana, every day, day after day, what's supposed to happen? It's supposed to transform our consciousness. What is consciousness? Thinking, willing, feeling. It is changing. What is changing? What is changing? That the first installment comes that we see ourselves eternal, Krishna is eternal, our relationship is eternal. So we actually realize the indestructibility of spiritual reality. That must come, otherwise your advancement, that consciousness changing is not actually proving. It's not outside, but it's internal. You feel that. The indestructibility of spiritual reality, you feel that. And more as your consciousness purifying through the sadhana and sadhu sangha, as it's increasing, it will connect us to Krishna. For sure. That's what this verse is giving. Satam prasangat mama vijja samvita. And in the increasing elevation consciousness, when your faith becomes strong, steady, even the insecurity of COVID-19 or whatever may inflict at material level, you can say, you can still relish the security joyfully in Krishna. That is required. That platform, every devotee must come. Okay, so we discuss about the importance of sadhu sangha. And we discuss also what is sadhak and what is siddha. Now question is sadhan, very short because of the time. At 6 o'clock, we'll stop for 10 minutes japa. We chant 10 minutes break for japa. So, Rupa Goswami Pad also, this is also in Chaitanya Charitamrita, 1.2.2. Also M.22.105, 106, 107, 3 verses, you should memorize those also. Kriti Saddha Bhavet Saddha Bhava Sa Sadhana Vida Nitta Siddhasya Bhavasya Prakritam Ridi Saddhata. What is sadhan bhakti? This is the definition of Rupa Goswami Pad. That when transcendental devotional service by which love for Krishna is attained, is executed by the senses, by our senses, karmendriya, gyanendriya, 5 active senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So through those senses, then it is called sadhan bhakti. Now there is a question raised on this. Kriti Saddha Bhavet Saddha Bhava Sa Sadhana Vida, that bhakti which is accomplished through the function of the senses and by which bhava bhakti is obtained is called sadhan bhakti. We got it. The manifestation of nitta siddha bhav within the heart of the purified jiva is called saddhata. This is very key point. Key point is that nitta siddha bhav within the heart of the purified jiva is called saddhata. This is very important to memorize this. This is one sloka that the other party cannot come nearby. Whoever challenges, don't worry, you'll never see them probably. And if you see them, you say, we know those verses. You want to, don't try to convince me, you can first understand those verses. Thank you, Sundari. Nice question. Because Krishna consciousness is spreading so much all over the world, there's some opposition trying to intervene and build the Maya, trying to build some people's minds so that they can be a little. They can be, but we don't buzz with that. We are sitting on a very fixed. This is one verse that Prabhupada quotes a lot on this subject matter, and I found Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes this, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur quotes this heavily. Nitta Siddha, this is the 20 also to 106. Nitta Siddha Krishna Prem Saddha Gobunai Savanadi Suddha Chitte Karayuda. One that devotee was here. He said that's Bengali verse. I said that's spoken by Mahaprabhu. What is your problem? Is Bengali or Sanskrit? What is spoken by Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu spoke Bengali. He was born in a Bengal. You want him to speak only Sanskrit? I never heard whether Mother Sochi will respond that with the Sanskrit. He has a relationship. Yeah, so translation is there in English. Prabhupada gave the translation. No, there is not. The Mahaprabhu, this sloka, it's directly spoken. It was not like some other associate came. So why Prabhupada take this so seriously? Because this has a fundamental root understanding of that there is a Ananda Kana, Chit Kana, the drop of spiritual happiness in each soul is there. 10.14.8 in the purport, 10.14.7 in the purport, Sanatana Goswami Pad's comments that Lord Sri Krishna, Gunanita, he is endowed with unlimited potency. In that verse, you know, that you can count the atomic, even the atomic structure, you can count how many atoms, but you cannot count how many quality Krishna has. Krishna has unlimited quality. And in that quality, the most speciality is that Krishna gave a particular quality to each soul in a particular way that never duplicated or replaced by another soul. Mean each soul is a very special and very particular relationship with Krishna. Nobody can deny. Sanatana Goswami Pad is Samandacharya. This is his opinion. Mahaprabhu appointed him to do this. So many angles to look at it, that they're all correct. Adilila 13.43, I found very interesting how Prabhupada translated, and I was looking at the origin verse also. Prabhupada writes, Lord Chaitanya is Krishna with the feeling of Radharani. Question comes, is the jiva eligible to relish Radha Krishna's prem? Are we eligible? So in other words, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combination of Radha and Krishna. It is therefore said, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahai Anna. By worshipping Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone, one can release the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna together. One should therefore try to understand Radha and Krishna, not directly, but through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and through his devotee. Now we are going to hit the other point. Is our service attitude is one's Swarup. This is a very, very nice. Actually, I found so many verses in Chaitanya Charitamrita that Nityananda Prabhu established this point. If somebody has a problem, they should just consult with Nityananda Prabhu. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 4.34, Srila Prabhupada translation, special natural appreciation of the description of a particular pastimes of Godhead indicates the constitutional position of a living entity. Wow. So we should keep on hearing, and if you see, if you are attracted and you really feel like appreciate. Now, because logic comes also in Uddhava's separation feeling, 3.2.6, that Uddhava is expressing his feeling to Vidura. There he says that even the demon got liberation and I'm deprived. He's just lamenting. Not that he's deprived, but he got it. But Krishna wants him to go to Badrinath and deliver those messages and all the teachings. So then there, Prabhupada made a very nice point in the purport that how you can be in the material world and serve Krishna in spiritual world also, same time. And he based on Mahaprabhu's teaching that Mali hoya sei bij kore aropan, savan kirtan jale kore esechan. Then that bij sprouted, became the plant, and on the base of humility is growing, and it grows all the way up in the sky. And he crossed the Mahakalapuram, the 8th layer of the universe. And then he passes through the Viraja. Then he comes to Brahmajyoti. He passes that. Then he comes to the Oishwarjamai Bhagavan. So that's, he hits the spiritual abode. Even Brahmajyoti is not spiritual world. It is, I mean, this is also on Brahmajyoti, the material world also. Mahat Brahma. There's some Tasmin Garbhe Dadami Ham Mama Joni Mahat Brahma. This Mama Joni, this material world is also Brahma. Mahat Brahma. It says Mahat Brahma. And Jiva Brahma, 8th chapter, 1st verse, it says, we are the Brahman also. And then Nirvishesh Brahma. Then Param Brahma, Param Dhamma. So there's so many Brahma. It's the same word, not a different word. So all the Brahma you can categorize into 4 sections. Jiva Brahma, Prakriti Brahma, Nirvishesh Brahma, Par Brahma. So our understanding of Brahman is that Par Brahma, from him Nirvishesh Brahman comes, and then the cover portion called Mahat Brahma or material world. And we are part and parcel of Krishna, so we are in that sense also Jiva Brahma, part of that. Sarvam Kalpita. This is one of the Mayavads. I mean, this is a Veda part, but the Mayavad loves it. They have a four Shruti Bhaikya. They are not origin Shruti Bhaikya, but they are supplement. They say, Aham Brahmasmi, Tattamasi, Sarvam Kalbidam Brahma, Pragyanam Brahma. These 4 Brahma. That's their whole philosophy finished by this. But they're missing the main person. All these 4 Brahman has no existence, whether Brahmana hi pratishtha aham. Krishna himself claimed, 1427, the last verse, he said, Brahmana hi pratishtha aham, amritasya bhayasya. I am the base. Yeah, they do. So question is transcendental mellow, rasa, a principle that is predetermined, or sadhu sangha can change it, or we are the maker, chooser of our own? To guess or go by the voting? Oh, I'm sorry, we have an online audience, we cannot just play here. Full and see who votes the which one. No, there's an explanation is given, very nice. How can we reconcile the idea of both valid Vaishnavas who has the qualification to understand all this? Well, first of all, there is no difference, because this is not easy to understand. As I mentioned yesterday also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, and Prabhupada says, this subject matter one has to do sadhana and here, then possible. If somebody don't have a good sadhana, they will never understand. Even jivas fall down. Any topics in a deeper way of understanding and accepting, it will never be revealed. Just by hearing, it will not work. Not work. There has to be submissive service attitude. Tadviddhi pranipadena. Siddhanta is that the sadhaka is influenced by his association. That is true. That when he gets the appropriate association, he can realize these topics or rasa. If someone associates with Krishna's devotee in general way, but his actual swarup, what is swarup means? Many many definition is given. Swa means self, rup means form. But that doesn't say the identity. Swarup is also identity. Yeah, Swarup Hinan, Nija Sukha Puran, Krishna Bhimukhan, Swarup that Swarup, in that case, is that the pleasure seeking by nature. In that sloka, that Swarup means. Swarup Arteta Hinan, Nija Sukha Puran, Krishna Bhimukhan. This is from also Jiva Goswami. Then there is another verse from Bhagavatam that Mukti Hitta Annatha Rupam Swarupena Vyavasthiti. Mukti Hitta Annatha Rupam Swarupena Vyavasthiti. That does not say the form. It says your existence means you have to give up. Hitta means kicked out or like get rid of, abolish. Mukti Hitta Annatha Rupam means there are other rup is there. Other rup doesn't mean form, means designation. I am Indian, I am this, I am man. These are designation. No, here rup, common way of form, but here rup is not a form. Rup is the designation, upadhi, sarvopadi, the same conception. So, mukti hita annata rupam, swarupena bhavasthiti. Swarupena means original, I have a position, and I have a function, and I have a nature. These three things are the most important thing. Everybody must remember that every soul has a original constitutional position, constitutional function, and nature, eternal nature. These three things are manifesting from the structure of the jiva, gatan. Any substance when is formed, there is a concomitant factor, nature appears, then the function appears, then the position appears. All three are very unique. So this is what we're going to discuss. Then there's a famous verse that Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives. Harinam Chintamani Navadit Dhamma both. Kono bhagye kono jive shraddha jodi hoy tobe sei jeev dasyarase gauranga bhajan. Dasya paripakke jabe jiver hridaye si madhur rasude murtiman hoye. Se samaye bhajaniya tattva gaura hari Radha Krishna rupe hoy braja avatari. Actually all those slokas is very wonderful. It's give a complete picture of this sadhana. one has to be first Bhagyavan. Bhaktistu bhakta sangena parijayate satsanga prapate pumbit sukriti purva sanchiti. Bhaktistu Bhagavad Bhakta. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said the same thing. Krishna Bhakti Janma Mula. The root of Krishna Bhakti or Krishna consciousness is the Sadhu Sangha. Without Sadhu, there is no, you can say, I got the book, or book you got because Prabhupada. It's not like a book manifested from sky without a person. So, or you got a prasadam, or you heard a kirtan. Whatever the cause, there is a sadhu is behind. Sadhu. So bhaktistu bhagavad bhakta sangyana purijayate. Bhakta sangha. Then the sukriti develop. That sukriti is not material sukriti, is the bhakti unmukhi sukriti. Something like that. So in that verse he says that when you become fortunate, then you do not meditate any relationship with the Lord except servant and master. And I found, I want to establish this is so important, because when we think of Swarup, is our original Swarup is fixed or actually we make our Swarup? That question has to be understood in these two aspects, I would say, actually two features. That Dashatta, servitorship, is eternal. Whether it's a Nanda Maharaj or Radharani or anybody, and I have all these slokas I collected today, all the slokas, authentic, valid. It says, Krishna Das Avimane Jay Ananda Sindhu Koti Brahma Sukhe Nahi Katar Eka Bindu. This is from CC Adi.6.44. Prabhupada translated, the conception of servitude to Sri Krishna generates such an ocean of joy in the soul that even a joy of oneness or any other, I like that verse, any other, whether it's a material happiness or Brahmananda, whatever, absolutely. If multiplied 10 million times, 10 million times, Prabhupada said, could not compare to drop of it. Now that is servant, not girlfriend or boyfriend. We're not talking. There's two things. Before I was also mixing that what is Swarup and what is Sambandha is not same thing. Swarup means that a position every soul has which is irreplaceable. Nobody can change. No sadhu sangha, no force or austerity or sadhana can replace or force to manifest. No, not possible. It has to be sanctioned by Krishna, even though it is within me. It's interesting. And only reason it is controlled by Krishna, because Krishna wants to see that actually I have that strong desire and I am eligible with that service attitude that actually I want to serve. I'm coming back as a normal. It is within me. The bhava is within me. That's Sai Bhava. But it has to, Krishna has to sanction in order to ignite. So that's why Krishna says, Nirapeksham munim shantam bimatsara samadarsanam anubrajami aham nittam pujayat angriyanuvi. I'll deliver the whole creation, all the conditioned soul, by the footsteps of my devotees. Nirapeksham. But those devotee means nirapeksham. Nirapeksha means everybody has something in this world. Everybody has a lust, greed, anger. Nirapeksha means they don't have any of this. They don't. Okay. I'm going to take a 10 minutes break for the japa, but Gopal Radhe Prabhu, would you like to read? And then we'll give the conclusion of that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just give me 1 second.
He's going to read something.
Okay. Well, I see a lot of the devotees too. If they would like to read, there's eight of them. So,
Whoever wants to, I see Mother Anjana Gopika from Texas. Would
yes.
Mother Anjana Gopika would like to read?
Prabhuji, which one I should read, Prabhu?
Yes. So, we will be displaying on the screen, and I think we have like eight slides. So each devotee can read one slide each.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Yes. So this is. I'll just read the topic. It says, "How much power does the name of Krishna possess?" So, yes, Mataji, you can read here, the first one. Do you see it, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, sorry, I was reading in
Yeah,
mute.
okay, no problem. Yeah.
How much power does the name of Krishna possesses? My heart constantly burns in the fire of holy desires, like a desert scorched by the sun. The holy name entering within my heart through the holes of my ears showers unparalleled nectar upon my soul. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes.
Thank you.
If somebody else would like to leave the second slide, you can unmute and you can just read. Very
I
well.
see Mother Vishnu Priya is there.
Prabhuji, Asra can read.
Okay.
Okay, please do, Asra.
The one minute. Bro. The holy name speaks from within my heart, moves on the tip of my tongue, and constantly dances on it in the form of transcendental sound. My throat becomes choked up, my body violently trembles, and my feet move uncontrollably.
Come nearby and read one. The next one will be read by Sundari, I saw her when she was in the mother's womb. Now she's grown up. How old are you? Wow, she's 11. Can you read this? Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you have to read it loud so they can. I know it's a, let me see if I can get it. Okay, somebody else read this and maybe next one she can do.
I can read, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is this Mother Vishnu Priya?
Yes. Prabhu.
Yes, Mother, go ahead.
Rivers of tears flow from my eyes. Perspiration pours from my body. My body thrills with rapture, causing my hair to stand on end and my skin to turn pale and discolored. My mind grows faint, and I begin to experience devastation. My entire body is shattered in a flood of ecstasies. Thank you. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. What number are you here, Prabhu?
Number 4.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. I'll read this text, Prabhuji.
Okay, who is this?
I am husband of Andana Gopika Devi Dasi.
Okay, Prabhu, you can read number 4.
While causing such an ecstatic disturbance, the holy name showers liquid nectar on my heart and drowns me in the ocean of divine love of Godhead. He does not allow me to understand anything, for he has made me truly mad and has stolen away my heart and all my wealth. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Number 5, Sundari going to read. Go ahead, read loud so they can.
Such is the behavior of him who is now my only shelter. I am not capable of describing all this. The holy name of Krishna is independent and thus acts at his own sweet will. In whatever way he becomes happy, That is also my way of happiness.
Hira, you going to read? Come, you can read this number 6. You have to read loud.
The holy name is the bud of the flower of the divine love, the abode of devotion's wonderful mellows. Such is the power that he manifests, that although he displays his power only slightly, he reveals his own divine form and qualities, steals my heart and takes it to Krishna.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Number 7, somebody else? Only 2 more. Gopal Radhe Prabhu, you do it.
Okay, Prabhu. Being fully manifest, the holy name takes me to Vraj and reveals to me his own love dalliance. He gives to me my own divine eternal body, keeps me near Krishna, and completely destroys this mortal frame of mine.
And number 8 will be read by Gora Chand Prabhu. Go ahead, loudly.
The name of the mind of all the
We can't hear him, Prabhu.
Cannot hear. You have to read loud.
when all impediments to the pure casting of
Still can't hear him, Prabhu.
Go ahead. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. You can see better.
the name of Krishna is the touchstone, the mind of all the words, eternally living, the embodiment of pure Rasa. When all impediments to the pure chanting of the holy name taken away in Vishnu, then my happiness will not cease.
Very good. Thank you, everyone. This is 6:10. We'll chant 10 minutes. Everybody has a japamala or in the finger. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Simate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Desha Tarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Sri Krishna Chaitanya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. One more minute. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Nam Prabhu Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. We are back to our discussion. So my point is right now that I would like everybody to understand this point that eternally we are all servant, whether somebody is Nanda Maharaj or somebody is even Vishnu Tattva, even God's expansion, manifestation, they are all servant, period. Akala Ishwar Krishna are sab Vritta. Everybody is servant. This is a permanent position. This position never changes. Even there is a verse, Adi.6.110 or 111, I forgot. It says, Bhakta, Avatar Ganesha Bhakta Bhav Adhikar, Bhakta Bhava Haite Adhik Sukhanaya. Even the God to enjoy as a God is not as much enjoyable as a servant of God. So that's why all the incarnation are eternally servant of Krishna. Whether it's Nishingadev or Narayan or Sankarshan, whoever it is, even Balaram. Everybody is a servant. The material nature, spiritual nature, the living entity, they are eternally positioned as a servant. If somebody ever need to search, you can read on the Adi Lila chapter 6. Very nice. And I found few quotes just to give you an idea. Krishna Sange Juddha Kare Skande Arohan Tar Dasya Bhav Kare Charana Sevan. Even though they may be fighting with Krishna, the coward boys, or climbing on the shoulder of Krishna, but there is a deep down in their heart, they always worship Krishna as a servant. You follow? And some very profound verses are given also. Braja Janitahan Virajositam Nija Janasmaya Dhangsana Smita Bhajasake Bhavat Tinkarishmana Jalaruhananam Charudarsaya. Even in Gopi Gita you'll see, because in Damodar month we generally sing this Gopi Gita, that the gopis are praying that we are your maid servant, including Radharani. Even when Radharani was deeply in separation, completely went to a stage where about to leave the body, all the Brajavasi, including her husband, her so-called husband, Abhimanyu, he came and submitted that I'm only a servant. Where this idea came, before they were acting like the opposite, watching all this scary pastime that Radhan is going here, there. But when the truth came, that deep down in their heart, they know themselves, their servant. Even Chandravali, she came to Radharani and begged apology. Oh Radhe, don't leave. There is no value of this land if you are not here, because if you are not here, Krishna will never come. We are made servant, but you are the best of all of us. We are all made servant. Ayan Ghosh, one by one, all the opposite or favorable, unfavorable, doesn't matter, whoever the gopis or boys or anybody, they all deep down in their heart, they always know they are eternal servant of Krishna. Then question comes, how they become mother, father, friend, lover, how this comes. I'm going to come, but first I want to establish that point, that our Swarup is fixed, period. Doesn't matter who said, which authority. This is our authority. Jiva Goswami Pad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Prabhupada very elaborately translated and give an explanation that we are servant of Krishna, and this is Mahaprabhu's conclusion. Jivera Sarupa Hai, Krishnara Nityadas. So this conclusion, that whether somebody is a god, Narayan, or somebody is an insignificant soul, they are all servant. Whether it's a Narayan or anybody, Shiva, Brahma, doesn't matter. Everybody is servant. This is called their original position. Everybody agree? Okay, good. Even Nityananda Prabhu, Goranger Dasyogane Sabate Agol, Goranger Dasya Preme Hoilo Pagol. The Vrindavan Das Thakur says that amongst all the servant of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu is number one. Gorange Dasyogane Sabate Agol. Dasyogane means amongst all servant, he is number one servant. This is Nityananda Prabhu feels. He is the number one servant of Mahaprabhu. They are all servant. They are also God, but that is difference. We are coming to the another point. But basic understanding, even Chaitanya Advaita Acharya says, Chaitanya Das Moi, Chaitanya Das, Chaitanya Das Moi, Tar Dase Das. He is a servant of the servant. Advaita Acharya. Who is Advaita Acharya? Mahavishnu. Wow. He's lying down on the biggest body. He's the Jagat Karta. So everybody, I hope, understand. And if you need reference more than that, you can ask anybody's position. They are all eternal servant. Now everybody understood that. Now we're going to have some conflict, some example. Shyamananda Prabhu. Shyamananda Prabhu, now his relationship, it causes different form and difference relation and reciprocation and inner satisfaction, you can say. Follow. Relationship is for what? For joyful connection, satisfaction, service, all this. But position is servant, period, no argument. In Shyamananda Prabhu's life, we see that though he is an eternal associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is also associate of Radha and Krishna as a Radharani's maid servant. And Shyamananda Prabhu's guru was Hriday Chaitanya, who is a disciple of Gauridas Pandit. Gauridas Pandit is a Subal Saka, coward boys. So question comes, sometimes we see that guru is one rasa, relationship with the Lord, and his disciple can be different rasa. Is that a confliction? If guru is lower rasa, that what disciple should do? You read Shyamananda Prabhu's life, how not even once ever thought that his guru is lower. Guru is always higher. Even though in Rasagata relation, his position in Madhurja Ras higher than Shakya, but nonetheless, Shyamananda Pandit saw that his position, that he got this Manjari direct mercy of Radharani, it is due to the mercy of his Guru, Hridaya Chaitanya. So is it possible Shakyaras can give you Madhur Ras? Yes or no? Yes and no. Means that Guru, even Guru is Shakyaras, but he will arrange a way that he will associate, the disciple associate with the higher rasa. Like for an example, Jiva Goswami Pad is a Radharani's maid servant. So Shyamananda Prabhu, when he came to Jiva Goswami Pad's school to study, then Jiva Goswami Pad appointed him to do sweeping. Can you sweep for 12 years, one place? That's a long year. He did for 12 years, just sweeping the Kunja, Seva Kunja. No break, no vacation, no vacation. He ate prasadam every day. Thank you for asking those questions. But no break like vacation. Well, I did sweeping for 1 year. Can I get a one? No. Only every day sweeping, and he's joyfully sweeping. No, not all day. He has to study and do all the things. But yes, every day morning he does Savakun service in Nidhuvan area. So he did for 12 years, and after 12 years, the whole pastime took place where he found the ankle bell. He had a dream, first of all. In the dream, he saw a beautiful pastime taking place, and Radharani left her ankle bell. When he woke up, he was thinking like about it. And then he went to sweep, and he found the same ankle bell on the floor. It was very mystical. So then he put it, and in India, or here also, sometimes they have a chadar, the brahmacharis, they have a chadar. So in the corner of chadar, I heard Prabhupada also used to put a tight some coin or something in the beginning. Monkeys also takes it, yeah, in Vrindavan. Yeah. So anyway, so then what happened? We know that story, the principle. I'm not going to go details on the story, just to make that point, that he got higher association, Jiva Goswami Pad, and he became Radharani's maid servant, even though his guru was in a one step below, Shakyaras. So what is the understanding? The confidential purport of this, the stage of practice, the sadhaka performs sadhana, bhajan, according to his association, as long as he does not realize his swarup. When he realizes his swarup by the mercy, when that idea will come? When anarthas goes away. When anartha goes away, his inherent mood appears in the form of some particular taste. You will feel natural attraction towards Krishna with that mood. When you will feel. If in the audience you may think like, oh, I never feel like this, because anarthas are there. When anarthas are removed, and last class or 2 class before, I gave that whole explanation. Was it 2 class before? The 16 anarthas. Sabram, Sarubram, then Asat Krishna, Hridaya Durballam, Sadhan, Saddha Sadhan Tattva Brahm, Maya Tattva Brahm, Jiva Brahm, Paratattva Brahm. All this has to be understood thoroughly, then anartha will disappear. Anarthas are not like an apple and orange on the shelf, you just take it and throw it. Not like this. This is embedded in the consciousness, the exploitive desire to exploit and enjoy separately from God. That has to be given up. Okay, now another example we discussed other day about the Anupam. Anupam is the brother of Rupa and Sanatan. And in Antolila chapter 4, I also spoke other day that how Anupam was not just, okay, who do you like to worship? Ram. Okay, then you are Ram Bhakta. Not like this. It is being tested. You are Ram Bhakta, you feel, but less you worship Radha Krishna. So Rupa Goswami Pad and Sanatan Goswami Pad tried their best to make Anupam understand that this Radha Krishna worship is the highest and he should worship. So one night he was trying his best, and as he was trying to meditate, the moment he meditated, that Sitaram appears. And again he's thinking, no, my brothers, they are such an advanced devotee, I'm going to follow their desire. Again he's trying to meditate on Radha Krishna, Sitaram appears. And it went like a whole night. Then he started crying and crying and crying. He said, I am sold, my head is sold. Head means the direction of the whole existence. Head is sold to the lotus feet of Sitaram. How can I change this? So I'm going to tell devotees, you can read this very nice in Chaitanya Charitamrita Antolila chapter 4. But I'm going to give you something very nicely Mahaprabhu says. Very nice way Mahaprabhu says. 46 verse. Say dhanna, say bhakta dhanna, sena chare prabhur charan. Say prabhu dhanna, sena chare nija jan. Beautiful. Glory to that God who never gives up his devotee. And glory to that devotee who never gives up the service to master, particular master. You follow? So in the morning, Anupam came and crying and fell at the feet of Rupa and Sanatan. And he says, whole night I try to meditate and serve the Radha Krishna, but every time I try to serve, Sitaram appears. And then I realize I'm completely sold to Sitaram's lotus feet. I gave my head. I'm sold to their lotus feet. I can never change. So then they embrace. They say, we were just testing you, just to make sure that actually your relationship with particular is already there. Association did not change. Everybody paying attention to what I'm trying to establish here? He got a Radha Krishna worshipper who is more advanced, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. They could not change his inner hankering for the Raghunath or Ramchandra service. Everybody understood? No, not yet. Not yet. I'm not coming yet. Question. So, what did you understand? The association cannot change what is already prefixed. You got it? The association cannot change. Now, Mahaprabhu, when he heard from Sanatana Goswami Pad, Mahaprabhu gave another example. Oh, I tried with Murari Gupta. The same in Antolila, chapter 4. Mahaprabhu said this to Sanatana Goswami Pad. Oh, you tried with Anupam, I heard. And he did not change. This is great. And I tried with Murari Gupta. Now I'm going to tell you Murari Gupta in a short. The Murari Gupta came in contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees to worship Radha Krishna in Madhur Ras, in conjugal way. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally told Murari Gupta to meditate on Radha Krishna. How more good example? The point is, they say the association will change. No, it does not change. I'm giving few examples. So then Murari Gupta, he knew he has a natural attraction to Sitaram. He knew that. But he also loved Mahaprabhu. He could not disobey Mahaprabhu's word. So he started meditating on Radha Krishna. As he meditated Radha Krishna, then Sitaram just appeared. And this is being going on for whole night. And he started crying and then crying and crying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, in the morning he came, that you are associating with the love filled. You are Premi Bhaktas of Radha and Krishna. So you should also become their Premi Bhakta. Mahaprabhu heard it, but he's still like, how do you say? Not impose, but yeah, you can say impose. He's trying to impose. And then during that night, next night, Murari Gupta started to follow because he loves Mahaprabhu also. So then when he could not change, the moment he tried to think of Radha Krishna, Sitaram again appearing, just like Anupam. That time he felt such a horrible that I don't want to disobey Mahaprabhu's word, Mahaprabhu's instruction, and I don't want to give up the Sitaram. What should I do? I cannot handle this. I'll better kill myself. Tomorrow morning, I'll cut off my head. So he had this knife. And Mahaprabhu, of course, Antarjami, he knows the heart of the devotee. He came in the morning. Murari, where is that knife? I want that knife. But then, I guess he's sharp enough to head. He wanted to cut off his head because he didn't want to disrespect Mahaprabhu and he did not want to disrespect Sitaram. So he could not do both. And it was such a pressure. So I hope those who are listening, you don't have to go through like this, that you have to kill yourself to avoid worshipping to Sitaram or Mahaprabhu or Radha Krishna. So anyway, in the morning, Mahaprabhu came and he took the knife. He said, where is the knife? Because Mahaprabhu knew that he will kill himself if he doesn't take it right away. So then Mahaprabhu revealed, no, don't worry. I was just testing you. You worship Sitaram. That means even Mahaprabhu's association did not change what is position in the relationship. Everybody understood that point? That's very critical. Now I'm going to give you another example. Jambuvan. Now Jambuvan, he fought with Krishna. Krishna was not disguising somebody else. Krishna is Krishna. And he fought for weeks, almost a month. At the end of the month, and he's thinking, how is possible? Nobody in the whole creation can fight with me and defeat. He must be my Lord. And as he's thinking, then Krishna took the form of Ram. So question is, even Krishna does not change the devotee's relationship with his particular form. You follow? Not only association of the devotee, even Krishna does not change. So Krishna had to change his form as a Ram. Then, so, oh, you are my Lord. Now I see why it is impossible, because nobody can defeat Jambuvan. So these are the Siddhanta, that even Krishna did not change, or Jambuvan, I would say, did not recognize. Now let's talk one more, then we'll stop on that example. I gave many examples, because they are all conflicted than what we understood from it. Let's talk about Venkata Bhatta. The Venkata Bhatta, his son Gopal Bhatta, and his brother Tirumala Bhatta, but here is the example of Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur, another brother, three brothers. Now Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur took sannyas from Lakshmi Narayan worshipper, Sri Sampradaya, you can say. And when they met Mahaprabhu, then something mystical happened. Mahaprabhu's association. Now, before we see the case of Murari Gupta, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself did not change Murari Gupta's seva to Sitaram. But here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed Gopal Bhatta's and his father's and his uncles. Of course, you can say, well, he's a Tunga Vidya. Oh, that's later we found out. At that time, nobody knew. Or before Mahaprabhu, when nobody knew. He was a sannyasi of Sri Sampradaya. So Mahaprabhu's association, did it change? Yes. But change on what? Well, they were actually Krishna Bhakta in their relationship with service. So these are the key points that we can conclude. What is the conclusion now? Come, we can go on the question. Seed of Madhur Ras. Now, this famous verse, Anarpita Charim Chirat Karunayavati Nakalo Samarpahitam Unnato Jalarasa Sabhakti Sriyam Haripurata Sundaraduti Kadamba Sandipita Sadharidaya Kandhare Spuratuva Sachinandana. This is a beautiful verse that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very nicely. There's a key point in that verse is Unnata Ujjala Rasa. What is Unnata Ujjala Rasa? That this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beautiful gift. Tamahar Prabhu gave class last Sunday. He mentioned very interesting point that now parayaham nirabadha that when the Krishna submitted that he's not capable to pay the debts of Gopi's love in the reciprocation. So he feels indebted. So in a form of Mahaprabhu, he is now fulfilling to pay off the debts. How? By bringing the soul who can actually serve Radharani in that Unnata Ujjala Rasa. Chaitanya, he is a recruiter. By the way, those who are listening, all these Zoom devotees, Srila Prabhupada was asked by one of his disciples named Hansudut Prabhu, Hansudut Maharaj, he just passed away in a few months. He asked a question to, it's in the database you can see, he asked a question, is your Guru Maharaj serving manjaris? And Prabhupada writes, these are not to be discussed in public. These are not, you don't need to worry about, I'm paraphrasing. But if you have the question, you have to ask. Otherwise, where are you going to get the information? Then Prabhupada writes, yes, my Guru Maharaj was serving manjaris. So we are follower of manjaris. Our parampara, Prabhupada did not, in emergency or in a new fight situation, he didn't want to reveal all the secret. But he gave all the hints in his discussion letter, not only in the book, on a communication, just like this letter. Very nice, secret letter. Just like one letter you found to Jayananda Prabhu, that we don't worship just Krishna, we worship Radha's Krishna. Krishna is a property of Radharani. What a writing Prabhupada write to Jayananda Prabhu. Krishna is a property of Radharani. So you tell Mr. Patel that we don't worship Krishna alone. Those are secret. That means everything that highest prem that given by Rupa Goswami Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, it's there in our parampara. Question is, we should be aware of it and be hungry for it. Because this is our Prabhupada came to give, our acharyas, they came to give. And all are in this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That's why I read that, I gave that to Gopal Radhe Prabhu. If you have the translation, you can read it. And now question may come, I'm just going to end with this, that you may say, well, there are so many ideas. If I don't speak to anybody, if I don't go to Vrindavan or anywhere, maybe I'll be okay. But we want to be with the devotee, we want to be visiting the Holy Dham. Then all this idea comes that should we consciously, voluntarily practice those to develop that mood, or it will be like automatically revealed? What is the catch? You know, generally devotee's mind will be like that. What I understand, I'm just going to express what I understand. I cannot say why. The teaching, in the teachings of our sampradaya, there are two paths that established by Swarup Damodar through Raghunath Das Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami, at that time, there was a two disciple, was Gopal Guru Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. And each of them took two different paths. That's why these two paths, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, are still continuing, and it will continue. And maybe we should be aware for it. But at least in a short, I'm going to tell you that one school of thought that we think that one is through automatic revelation. Jare dekho tare kaho, Krishna upadesh, amar aggai guru hoiya taro edesh. Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, they emphasize that follow this instruction of Mahaprabhu. Then what will happen? What about Radha Pailodasi and what about all this idea? We will be deprived, we should not be like practicing. Well, there is the other idea that one is through a process of Siddha Pranali. Now, Bhakti Chara Maharaj told me personally that he asked actually Prabhupada, what is that Siddha Pranali? And Prabhupada said, when you're ready, I'll give you. That was Prabhupada's opinion to Bhakti Chara Maharaj. He told me directly. Also, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says Siddha Pranali is Dinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahisnuna Manina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So a process of conscious cultivation under guidance of senior Vaishnava is required, or it will just automatically reveal. Which one? Well, if you follow the process that Srila Prabhupada established, see how it says this. This is the verse right after this, 20.105, I said. And then 106, 107, if you read it. It says, Kobuna Badive Tumai Bishoy Taranga Punarapi Eitai Pabi Morsanga. If you follow this instruction, that you practice, make your life successful and preach. Do this every day, you do sadhana and engage others, bring people to practice. Do both, achar prachar. Then what will happen? Mahaprabhu says, I am going to be there to meet you. And do not worry about Maya or your trouble in your obtaining the highest goal of life. Punarapi eitai pave more sangha. Even Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur says, Jada jata gaura padara binde bindeto bhakti krita punnarasi tatha tatha sarapati ridi akasmat radha padambuja sudamburasi. Very good. That if we can just follow the simple process, that as Mahaprabhu says, just follow, then you will see Mahaprabhu's lotus feet in your heart. And when you adore this way, then what will happen? It says, Dasya Vajay, Dasya Paripakke Jabe Jibe Ridoye. When your servitorship, relationship with the Lord in a servitorship is mature, Paripakka, then Mahaprabhu himself will manifest as a Radha Krishna. You don't need to artificially cultivate, imagine I am this, I am that, or whatever, peacock or something, because it's already existed. This is from Harinam Chintamani. The Dasya Paripakke Jave Jibe Si Madhur Rasode Murtiman Hoye. Now that one is from Chaitanya Bhagavat. Se samay bhajaniya tattva gaura hari Radha Krishna rupe hoy braje obotari. Mahaprabhu says, I will take you. I will take over your need. You do not need anything. Also Navadhi Dhamma has very, very interesting. You have the Navadhi Dhamma here? Very nice. Maybe you can. Is it English translation is there? 6:51. Yeah, we have 10 minutes now. So the conclusion is, if we can follow strictly and sincerely, seriously to Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, and then the process that given by Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, like this, if we just follow sincerely, seriously, not like a lazy way, just really do sadhana every day and follow and preach, you will guarantee ultimate goal of Radha Krishna's pastime in the eternal lila, and become their maid servant of the maid servant of the maid servant of the maid servant. It's better, more servant of the servant of the servant. Guarantee you will enter there. So I'll end here. There is no question or conflict or misunderstanding. Is there any question or comment or reflection? Gopal Radhe Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, Haribol. Yes, you can read my heart. I have a question. Okay, I wanted to ask, can you please elaborate again on that, the two different pathways of Gopal Guru Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami?
They are, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will see when Raghunath Das Goswami came to Jagannath Puri, then Raghunath Das Goswami was given under care of Who? Swarup Damodar.
Yes.
And he spent whole time in Jagannath Puri under Swarup Damodar. And Swarup Damodar was taught by Mahaprabhu personally every evening in Gambira, grabbing Swarup Damodar's neck like this and would teach him all the secret that we chant those mantra, the Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ladini Shakti Rasmat Ekatmana Jeno Puri Deha Vedam Gato To Chaitanyakam Prakadam Uduna Tadayam Chaikam Aptam Radha Bhavoduti Subolitam Nomi Krishna Sarupam. And this next verse, the three unfulfilled desire. Radha Pranaya Vikriti, Radha Pranaya Mahima Kidrisha Bana Eva Asada Jena Adhuta Madhurima Kidrisha Ba Madhya Shakkancha Samad Anubhavat Kidrisha Vetti Loba. These secret verses, secret point, Mahaprabhu taught to Raghunath Das Swarup Damodar. And Swarup Damodar, when he went home, he taught this to his disciple or his caretaker. What do you call object of affection, Raghunath Das Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami learned that at that time Gopal Guru Goswami was also Gopal Guru Goswami also did a big thing for us in our life. He established the Mahamantra's glory. Like those, when can you chant? Mahaprabhu did not say, Mahaprabhu would not even chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra every time at that time. Until Gopal Guru Goswami, this incident took place. He was a small kid, but his name was Gopal. Then he became Guru. Mahaprabhu gave him the name Guru. Because Mahaprabhu's tongue in Bengal, or maybe in India, when they do something inauspicious or something, they go like this. Can you see I don't know if you can see, but they bite the tongue. So then this boy asked Mahaprabhu, you heard that story, Prabhu, why are you biting your tongue? He said, I went to dirty place to finish my oblation, but this tongue doesn't stop chanting. This is a dirty, filthy place. So then Gopal asks that, Prabhu, what will happen in the moment of death? It's also inauspicious. Some people could pass stool and urine also, could be in a horrible place. Death can come in anywhere. What will happen? So Mahaprabhu says, you are right. It should be chanted anywhere, everywhere, no rules, nothing. So Gopal Guru changed. Then Mahaprabhu says, from today your name is Gopal Guru, no more Gopal. So that's how he got. He was also student of Swarup Damodar there in Jagannath Puri at that time. There are many incidents with this Abhiram Thakur coming there. That's another pastime took place with Gopal Guru. So he actually did drastic application of holy name. Mahaprabhu used him to establish no rules, regulation, and holy name will get. Harse Prabhu kahe sunaramarai kalau sankirtana paramupai, because of Gopal Guru Goswami's other incident. So Mahaprabhu actually gave so many benediction the holy name can give because of Gopal Guru Goswami. So he was also, it's not that we disrespect, no, we must respect. He was the same as Raghunath Das Goswami. But one philosophy that Raghunath Das Goswami understood, that you follow your Guru, Achar and Prachar. This is the important, Achar and Prachar. And when time comes, anarthas are removed, your natural relationship with the Lord will be established. You follow that part?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. The next one, Gopal Guru Goswami, what he understood is also, he's also Mahabhagavat. We cannot diminish that, his idea. His idea is that, that no, you have to be under somebody who is in that platform, and one, through a process of a Siddha Pranali, he called, a process of a conscious cultivation under guidance of a senior Vaishnava who is connected and can connect you. So under guidance of that Vaishnava, and you have to cultivate. That time it's possible you'll get. So we don't take that one, we take the other one. Why? Because Mahaprabhu, actually Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, actually Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he appeared in this world, he saw there is no such advanced soul. I won't say all these things Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur says about Radha Kunda Basi. You all know it. But there was no sincere soul. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of the lecture of Prabhupada on Mahaprabhu's appearance day was 5 minutes for Mahaprabhu, or maybe 10 minutes. And the whole half an hour or 40 minutes all talk about Bhaktivinoda Thakur on Gaur Purnima. And I'm thinking like, Gaur Purnima day, why Prabhupada is talking about Bhaktivinoda Thakur, not Mahaprabhu? At the end of the lecture, Prabhupada says, he revived. Oh, you were there? Yeah. He said he revived. And then I thought, oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so important. If Bhaktivinoda Thakur would not revive, we would not talk in Alachua right now. Prabhupada is so mercifully brought. Yes. Yeah, that's true. So that's why we follow this process, and it assures, guarantees us. Is that okay, Gopal Radhe Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for clearing that. In the beginning, I was thinking maybe the two different paths were like that of Goshti Anandi and Bhajan Anandi, but it seems both are in. It's not that one, right? It's just that one believes that one has to follow a spiritual master or a guru who is already pure devotee or something like that. And other is trusting in the process, right?
Yes.
Yes, because
Also, he is the eligible. The person who is trusting is a very eligible. See, we have to also read the history of ISKCON. There was one devotee, Pushkar Prabhu is here, he knows everything almost. Like there is one devotee who was about to die, the story I heard, because that's the only time Prabhupada gave Babaji initiation. And other sannyasi informed to Prabhupada that this boy is preaching to the university that he's preparing his death. He had some disease, didn't say what disease was. Huh? Oh, okay. He knows, Pushkar Prabhu. Within 2 years, he will die. And then when Prabhupada was told that he's doing this, and then some sannyasi was, how would you say, not imposing, kind of to Prabhupada. Oh, Prabhupada, he's preparing to die and he's preaching going on very nice. Can't you give him a sannyas? So then Prabhupada said, actually, if he's ready to die, then he should take Babaji and he should just sit down on the bank of Ganges river and just chant until, prasad comes, and then eat prasad, again chant. That's all. Without me. So then he was doing this for a while, and then to make the story short, he came across another doctor who told him, your disease is gone. Now when he heard this, he gave up his Babaji and everything, and he went back to the West, and he started enjoying life, just like ordinary. Oh, I see. So doctor, anyway, then when Prabhupada heard it, he was not happy about it. He said, that's the end of ISKCON Babaji. No more Babaji initiation in ISKCON. It's supposed to be the last stage of sannyas, Paramhamsa, very advanced.
I said to one of the artists, I said, what's that? No, you're in the smoking. Well, that's no problem. You came back. I said, he came back. Why he came back? Then he went away. Then first he came back, he got tired of mine. Then he went, I'm not going to die. I'll go on. I'm not going to die. I may as well enjoy.
So that was not a genuine Paramahamsa, but Prabhupada was merciful, but it didn't work out.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the wonderful explanation. Yes, and
Is there any other
also
question, comments on Facebook? You also look, and then we'll take Purushottama also.
Nope.
Okay. Yes, Prabhu.
No
Purushottama.
question comes, because I'm not so, but it's usually go for rule. Main one speaking, and that's it. So why he using him if he doesn't agree or he's not in that line exactly?
Because of the time, place, situation. If there was a qualified Vaishnava who is doing this, that yes, you come and I give you the process and you can cultivate consciously and do that, then is okay. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time, they had Babaji was Raghunath Das Babaji in Jagannath Puri. And Bimala Prasad, he was about 5 or 6 years old. Because 7 years old, he started speaking. He been giving class, listening his father, and his father allows him to speak also. So then one time, Bhaktivinoda, he came to Raghunath Das Babaji came, not that Raghunath Das Babaji, this current Raghunath Das Babaji at that time, Bhaktivinoda, contemporary. So then he was sitting in a corner and Bhaktivinoda Thakur was about to sit down and talk, and Bimala Prasad walked by. In India, sometimes child does this, don't do this, but if they don't like somebody, they go, huh, and they walk by. And this Babaji said, who is this boy? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, it's my son. He said, why he doesn't like me? And Bhaktivinoda Thakur knew. He said he hates Sahajiyas, imitationist. Imitationist. Like if you think like you are Mother Joshoda, how do you feel? Are you Mother Joshoda? If you imitate, what will happen? It will be like faking, no? It's not real. Yeah, exactly like this. So they're imitationists. They don't tell others that they are pretending. But Bimala Prasad, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur was so genius, he knew even 6 years old. He said, oh, he hates Sahajiyas. Yeah. No, he's not a friend. He became friend because he would not even come to listen his classes. And all his follower would go. He said, this magistrate, he's giving such a high topics. We like to hear him. He said, why are you going him? So he investigated. He says, this Kedarnath Datta, his name was Kedarnath Datta that time, no Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He says he doesn't have a neck beats. He doesn't have a sika. How can he speak such a high topic? Yeah. And then his disciple, they say, well, at least can you come and hear it? So secretly he came behind the bush just to hear. He was speaking in audience. I don't know what, village, I can imagine there's a bush and something. So then he heard it. He was like, he felt attraction. No, that's later. That time, where the ISKCON temple is called near Haridas Thakur Samadhi. Bhakti Kuti, that building. That was Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. And he was giving class. So anyhow, then later on, Babaji came alone and met him and slowly started talking. Yeah. So like that.
It is genuine, but only for very highly qualified disciples and highly qualified gurus. So in Jaiva Dharma, Bhajanath and Vijay Kumar, they're exceptionally qualified disciples.
Yes.
By that time, they were already completely detached.
Correct.
Liberated. So for them, they can do this path and be successful.
Sure.
But
For us, be practical. For us, we have a last greed, anger. Sometimes we are perfect. Then maybe after a few hours or few days, thinking like, let's make some more money or enjoy life. We think. So that's not for them. No. Correct.
I can say one example. I think it's important. Paul Krishna Maharaj came to Prabhupada in early 76. And he said, oh, we have so many people now in this town, but they go to Vrata Club because they read that.
Gopal Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't Maharaj. They read the last few verses of the Shamita and how I couldn't say all that. So they go. because they have not first gone to the first verse. They are being managed by the, I mean to say, the tongue in general, managed by. But they cannot first realize the first verse, but they're taking the last verse.
That's true. That's true. It's very interesting. They always quote the number 8 minimum. Tannam Rupacharita Disukirtananu. Because that verse has a Tadonuragi Jananugami. No, what is that? Tannam Rupacharita Disukirtananu Smritta Kramena Rasana Manasi. Tistan Braje. You reside in Brajadam. Tad Anuragi Jananugami. So they feel like, okay, we need to do this bhajan. But they forgot something, what Prabhupada says. I mentioned this many times. I would like to mention million times more. That they asked Prabhupada that we have to follow a Brajabasi to serve Krishna in spiritual world. And Prabhupada said, I'm here. How more? That's so beautiful that Prabhupada revealed that he is a Brajabasi. Gopalanatha Prabhu, I hope the whole audience heard it. That Prabhupada actually revealed that he was a Brajabasi.
Yes.
I was there. Anyway, before he chastised them, he brought one Sanskrit devotee, Sanskrit of his Western devotee, named Jagannath, down to his room and chastised him like anything. But he was not in Gopi Baba Club. So Jagannath would say, "Oh, why I'm not in this club? Why are you chastising me?" He said, "Because you were living in Radha and I was doing this living in
Ah.
Single them out ahead of even the Gopi Baba Club. And he always meditated for years. He used to mention to me, "Why did Prabhupada chastise me?" Finally, he just went to Maya. But I always told him, just relax. I mean, you should take it. He's your guru, but he couldn't take it. But then he went to Maya. Anyway, so what is the use of your Radha?
So Gopalanatha Prabhu will just chant for 1 minute and then we'll close it. Is that okay?
There is one question on the chat, Prabhu. If we
Yes,
can-
Prabhu.
Yes. I hope your program
Can you read it?
is not getting late, right?
That's okay.
Okay. Okay. Here, yes. It's from Satya Karan, Prabhu, and it says, not directly on the subject, but wondering, could it be that because of human tendency to develop attitude that is not proper? It is human tendency to develop attitude that is not proper. Often Sahajiya is mentioned, that we in the West don't hear about some of the historic Indian Vaishnava poet. For example, Mirabai. Sometimes I hear we can respect but not imitate, but sometimes I hear more offensive comments about her. Is it okay to read and listen to bhajan's attributes to her, or better not dwell on it so much?
Well, I have a question. Do you want to worship Krishna or you want to worship Radha Krishna? If you want to worship only Krishna, which our Guru Parampara does not recommend, then you can listen that. Because Mirabai did not, you cannot show me any song that Mirabai so much adore about Radharani with Krishna. She is always glorifying Krishna, but she even expressed that she should have been there next to Krishna, not other. So as a result, one of the sannyasi was very nicely explaining, I remember, he said, because she expressed like this, she could not stay in Vrindavan, even though most of her song is about Giridhari Lal, all this beautiful song, but she had to go to Dwarka, because in Dwarka, you can be individually with Krishna, wife. Will be 16,108, 16,109. No problem. But in Vrindavan, Radharani is one, not 2 or 3. So from that angle, it depends up to you. But we have to be very careful. She is like advanced, like a queen. She is very advanced. We have to be very careful, never disrespect. Then our bhakti will be finished. Yes, that's a true story. Jiva Goswami wrote a reply that I don't like to meet another woman. And Mirabai was replying, I thought in Vrindavan there is only one man. And so what it meant also, what I heard, that Jiva Goswami Pad was pointing out there is only one man, is Krishna, and Radharani is the only lady, not somebody else.
And they like that. He used to. So he's not fanatic. That he's singing Ganga Jamuna song. They were singing. I have recorded, but probably liked it. So I mean, he didn't run out there, but he told them to go down, give some prasad, give them rupee. They're singing very nicely. Not fanatic.
Yeah. Did you hear that story? Prabhupada actually heard one of the Mirabai song, and Prabhupada didn't say anything much, but he liked it. So we have to respect, but at the same time, we don't follow her. We follow Radharani, period. Manasa. Yeah, that's true. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes.
Yes,
Sajat Karan Prabhu, you want to just unmute and you can ask yourself. Is it possible you can unmute your mic and just ask Prabhuji? He has a small question.
Yes, thank you. I have no more questions. Yes, I was just kind of mystified why we never hear of her anything at all. Westerner, I'm in the West. I'm Satya Devidasi here. So I was wondering what happened there, what is it, and what is myth and what is not, her whole life. She merged with it. It doesn't sound, I know it's not our Sampradaya or anything. And lots of it sound like a myth, but I was very curious and I like Subulakshmi Bhajan, but now I'm not going to listen to it anymore. I was just wondering. People didn't
be in a better place. If you just focus on our Acharya's, Mataji, if you focus on our Acharya's song, you will advance so quick and you will have darshan of Radharani and you will be the 10 million times more happier than if you just follow Mirabai.
Yes. This was accidental. Devotees in Belgrade did the theater play with ballet dancer about her life. It was ISKCON devotees in temple. They did this project with Karmi dancer.
Right. That's fine. We should respect Mirabai and we respect those who are singing, but we don't follow. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much. I didn't know what to think. Why? Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Jaya Nimai Nitai, Jaya Nimai Nitai, Nimai Nitai, Jaya Nimai Nitai, Nimai Nitai, Nimai Nitai, Divas. Jaya Nitai Nimai Jaya, Nitai Nimai Jaya, Nitai Nimai Jaya, Nitai Nimai, Nitai Nimai, Nitai Nimai Jaya, Nitai Nimai Jaya, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath. Sundari, take the video and show the video. Jaya Subhadra, Jagannatha Swami, Jayana Patagami, Jayana Patagami, Bhavatu Me, Jagannatha Patagami, Jayana Patagami, Jagannatha Swami, Jayana Patagami, Jayana Patagami, Bhavatu Me, Jagannatha Swami, Patagami, Jayana Patagami, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Pada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Gurudev, 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 Jaya, Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya, Jaya Gurudev. Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpa taruvesya kripa sindhuvaiva cha patitanam pavanebho vaishnavebho namo namo ananta kori Vaishnavrinda ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for attending.